Alright, it is VOD review time. We're doing some Ana. We're going to be looking at Periwinkle. Okay, so let's look at their comp. So we're playing Moira Ana, which isn't great, but it's okay. We have the Genjis, who are probably going to be looking to Nanoblade most often. We have a D.Va, which is fine. Our Moira and our Sombra are probably going to be looking to dive with these two. So overall, it's mostly dive comp. Ana is played in dive. She's not going to be doing the diving herself, but she can take a nice angle and get some healing in. They have more of a poke comp with the Sigma, the double sniper. They have a Moira Lifeweaver, which is a little bit unorthodox, but it's not like terrible. They have a lot of healing, so they're going to have a ton of sustain. They're not going to be taking a lot of damage from poke. Pretty standard stuff. Sit and choke. Alright, so with this amount of healing, this is a lot of healing. The only way we're going to break through this and get the kills is if we need them. So we have to be looking for a big anti. If it's just one person, the Lifeweaver will probably pull unless you're tracking that cooldown.
You cannot escape me.
Okay, here's this one. There's another. Fight's over. Just back out.
I'm here. I'm getting the objective.
I'm just gonna build some ult. It's fine. Careful your reload management. You don't want to lose people. So when we're looking here, right here is when you want to be reloading. Right around this corner.
I'm here. I'm getting the objective.
So if you don't have to stop and reload here, you can keep your D.Va alive pretty easily. Missing this nade also is kind of unfortunate, but it sometimes happens. Really, where you want to just be reloading is whenever you're in cover and someone doesn't need healing immediately. Because the second you need to have healing and you don't have it, you're going to be in trouble. So Ana's reload management and Baptiste's reload management is extremely important. So this is a bit unfortunate, but what happens is you cross out in this open sight line, and the Widow can just shoot you for free. It's a pretty easy shot to hit. So be very careful about walking, and this is called a wide swing. When you swing out of corners and like into this open lane here, this is called a wide swing. Doesn't matter that the Widow's up here. This is just very dangerous. So you always want to be hugging those corners. You always want to be hugging those walls. It's very dangerous if you're not careful. Moving on.
Rendezvous at my position.
Sigma present.
Taste of poison.
Yeah, your team is sort of looking to match a little bit more with the Sig comp. It's fine. Be very careful about swinging into these snipers. How is it going? Let's back up a little bit. Okay. So, we're up one. Going into this fight, you have to be very careful where the enemy team is playing. So remember, your objective here is to get a nade on someone. Ideally, like a support, a Lifeweaver who can't just like get it out of it, or maybe a 1 HP Sigma who's in grasp. So your best chance of doing this is going to be taking the high ground. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to have to walk up this way and just play up here on this this high ground here. This is your best chance of success. Once you're here, you can just throw down nades, look for people here. You can maybe take a couple shots at the Widow, just jiggle peeking this, being very careful not to get headshot, crouching, AD strafing, just shooting your unscoped at her. Don't scope in. If you scope in on this, it's an easy shot to hit. You can even sit behind the Sig shield and take shots at her. You have long range damage, and no one else on your team can really effectively poke at her from this range. They would have to commit very hard to kill her. So you can take some shots at her just here and there, just try and get some damage in. But as you move up, your objective is to get onto this high ground and start to look for nades. That is how you play Ana in the most part. The best way to climb with Ana is to use nades effectively. This is a good nade, but I don't think it'll get a ton of value because we're not in a position where we can push off of it. Again, be very careful about this wide swing here. You're going to be exposed to a lot of extra damage. In this case, the Moira Cole, but also this Widow has a very easy shot to hit on you, if the Sig Shield's not in her face.
This is the pace. You're powered up. Get in there.
So, I don't know if this is worth using since we're almost at Nanoblade. I mean, our Genji's a little bit far from it, but he'll get it in the next fight. Careful about scoping in against the Widow. The scoped on is very easy to hit. Nice. Play aggressive here. Once again, you want to be up on the high ground. Alright, let's hit the sleep. Aw, tragic. And so if we look at how you died here, this is positioning. So if we look from the enemy's POV, right? These people here on cart, you're in a lot of like open space. You don't have a lot of cover. So if I'm looking here at the Sojourn, as I'm watching her, you're very out in the open. This is an easy shot to hit. So that's how she kills you. So what you want to do is, one, be up on the high ground, be able to retreat, be able to throw nades, play this cover here, take duels with whoever might be up here on top of the cafe, and just look to play for your team, right? So Ana is a very team-oriented and like kind of coordination-based hero, where it's not like, say, Sojourn, where you can kind of just be mechanical and just frag everyone, right? So you're going to want to sit on the high ground, look for nades, create openings for your team. That's your best chance of success.
EMP activated.
Where's the Widow? Oh. Gotta be looking out for those snipers. This is a very dangerous person. Gotta be hugging these corners. Being able to peek this. Take a shot at her. If you hit one, she dies. If she hits one, you die. But it's a lot harder for her to hit you if you're crouch spamming. Where are you? Where'd you go? There you go.
On the objective. What are you doing?
Okay. Bud. Team wins the fight.
Objective A captured. Don't press. I see you. Payload mobilizing.
Alright. So, here on the second point, same thing applies. You're going to want to take this high ground at some point. So, you probably want your Moira or someone who has a lot of mobility on the cart so they don't have to worry about dying. But ideally, you want to get up this high ground, and as the fight starts going, you're going to walk across this bridge, and once you guys are here, looking to get bird, you'll be sitting up here ready to throw nades into this choke here. So, the rotation you'll have to want to make with your team once the time is ready. You're not quite there yet, you're all in choke. You're going to have to take this elevator here and clear this high ground. So that means you're usually going to have to go with your tank. So sitting on the low ground is pretty dangerous. Right now they have a Tracer who can get up there and pretty easily kill you. They have a Moira who, if you're not confident in your aim, can definitely be a little bit of a threat to deal with. The damage orb can be quite tricky, especially since he has Cole. Zarya's not really a threat to you. Cass is somewhat of a threat to you if you're playing low ground. And the Brig is not really a threat to you. So it's really just these two, like these two here you have to worry about. So save sleep for them. Don't use sleep at any other time, really. And play high ground, so it's not as easy for them to get to you. Either the Tracer would have to take the elevator, which you can hear, and then you can jump back to your team. Or the Moira will have to, like, try and fade up, but she doesn't really have an easy way to do that.
Catch you later.
What is that syzygy?
Yep, fun. Good nade. Good sleep. Should be looking to 3, 2, 1 shoot. Whenever you hit a sleep like this, if you're in voice comms, or if you're not, you should be looking to shoot the sleep target, like 3, 2, 1 countdown and shoot them, because it's much easier to secure the kill with a lot of burst damage as opposed to just shooting them all the time. want to see you get on the high ground here. Okay, they waste the pulse bomb. That's good. Look for a nade here, maybe? Well, if you're up here on the high ground, right, this is a pretty easy nade to hit. You can hit all three here. Throw it right here. You probably hit, like, the... you probably don't hit the Ana, but you can definitely hit these three here in this group here. So then your team can look to follow up and get a kill. Especially if you hit the Cass, who doesn't have any way to, like, self-sustain. You're going to force a Zarya bubble, or you're going to probably force... Either he will die, or he will have to, like, play out of the fight for a second and wait. You could force Fade, and then your team can follow up with that. You have a couple different options, right? Or if maybe... they use these cooldowns by the time you're up on high ground, you throw the nade and you kill both of them anyway. But what you want to be doing is you want to be getting up on these high grounds for these opportunities. What is this fucking Dragon Ball Z ass battle here? What am I watching? Gotta be looking for those nades. Okay, we didn't hit the nade. This is a really important cooldown. This is how you're gonna climb. So if you're not hitting those nades, what I would recommend doing is, there's a workshop code, and I'll put it here up on the screen. VAXTA. It's called VAXTA. It's just an aim workshop. And so you can hop in there in between queues, which support queues are pretty long up at my rank. I don't know how they are for the rest of the player base, but tonight playing in like low GM, I was getting like 15-minute queues. It's pretty long. So, in between queues, I don't know if it's the same for you or not, you can just hop into this custom game and just practice shooting the bots, hitting your cooldowns, hitting your sleeps, hitting your nades, so on and so forth. It's a really good way to develop mechanics. I know a lot of people, like my friend Zomba, he's a rank 1 Tracer player. He pretty much always does VAXTA in between queues.
Step right.
I'm surprised that kills too. But, okay. This is good. You hit the Moira. This is a good target with the nade. You're either going to force the Fade or she's going to die. Once again, you're out very much in the open. You can be playing cover here, like here, or even better, the best option, right here. You can throw the nade into this, you can throw the nade around this grav, help sustain your teammates, and maybe hit the enemies, and maybe they kill someone. Okay, where are we at? Careful. Okay, this is a little bit of a safer angle, but now you're doing the same thing. You're going back out into the open. This Ashe is still looking for you. Throw the nade? Okay, good nade. Self-sustain. Keep your team alive. See, now they're gonna have a harder time shooting you, because you do have the cactus. Yes, this is still like, you're still kind of out in the open, but you do have a little bit of cover, so you can be playing around this. This is a little bit safer. I like this more. Oh, he's naded, and he dies. See how powerful this nade can be? Now you're probably gonna lose the fight. Oh no, no cover for you. Okay, so what we learned on the first half, I want this off my screen. Okay, what we learned on the first half of this map. 1, high ground. High ground. This is your biggest friend. High ground is like where you always want to be. This is probably, just playing the high ground alone will probably boost you up a full like 3 or 4 like ranks in your like division. This is really important at this rank. 2, I would say cover. Cover is very important. High ground and cover kind of play together. There's a lot of cover on the high grounds for you to use. 3, let's say cooldown usage. Cooldown usage. Nade. Nade is the big one. Nade is how you climb. Hitting those aggressive nades really helps secure kills. In fact, with something like a Lifeweaver Mercy, where it's just so much raw healing, hitting those nades is pretty much the only way to guarantee kills. Except for like a one-shot. So, most important thing is to just practice those nades. Start to use them aggressively, not just defensively. Use them as aggressive tools, that's what they are. For, let's say, reload management. Because there was only one time where it happens. But it can mean the difference between a loss and a victory. So, reload management. So whenever you're in cover, look to use those reloads. Whenever you peek out of the fight and you have a couple bullets down, even if you only shot like 3 bullets, still a good chance to reload and wait until your team is back in the fight.
0.
Moving on.
Initiating match. Ready for
Staying on the auto. Okay, I like it.
ready for battle.
And already you're doing better because you're on the high ground. Let's go. Where'd you go? There you go.
1.
Okay.
Good to see you.
So, defense, good to play high ground. What I like here is that you have cover. You have a mini that you can drop onto for the healing, so you don't have to nade yourself necessarily. You have a little bit more sustain that way. You also have a better angle to see all of your teammates, whether they're on the high ground or they're in choke. You can look to play around this cover. Just be careful of a Hanzo or someone like this going down here and looking at you, because this is a really easy way to get one shot. I've found this out many a time myself. So just be careful about that. But other than that, this position is good. This is where I always start. Also Sombra there, kind of unlucky. So you can look to hit an aggressive nade to even this out. So just look to chuck the nade at the first person you see. Yeah, that's good. Doesn't quite hit the JQ, but it's good. Good attempt, good attempt. Oh, carry your Fury. Are we gonna want to reload? I don't know how that one didn't hit actually. That's a little unlucky. Okay, you hear someone over to the left? Just be careful. Yep, it's a sniper. It's a good nade. And just like that, your team gets a kill. It's all about these nades.
Next time, say please.
You almost have nano. If you get it, I want you to just hit your run with it.
You're powered up.
Good. Good. Throw the nade? Yeah. Okay. Did the cast? Can you get that kill? Unlucky.
You're going to live.
Okay. Now we just sit a choke and we poke a little bit. And that's what I was talking about earlier. Be very careful about people peeking that left. You can play a little bit further back in this cover here and just use this table, or you can play and just try and sit fur back for this angle. This is going to keep you from getting hit, but it's a little bit more defensive. But yeah, just be very careful about those Ashes, those Hanzos, those Widowmakers taking that left angle there. Is your team in this way? Doesn't look like it. Okay, now you're gonna want to get back on that high ground. You need to control that space. Right now you're being a low ground Larry. You don't want to be a low ground Larry. So if we look at this point, high ground is what makes and breaks this map, right? This area here. So if we control this space here, I'm gonna re-angle my camera for a second. We're gonna ignore the team fight. Let's focus on the map. So, cart, I'm gonna draw it in blue. Cart's path is just this. Pretty simple. Now, you want to control all this space, this kind of river looking area. So to do that, sitting up here gives you nice control of this area. Gives you nice control of this area. Sitting up here gives you nice control of this area as well. We can draw a couple lines in there, and maybe not. Gives you nice control of this area. And once you sit over here and you just rotate, gives you nice control of this area. Which is pretty much the entire point where the cart's going through, right? So, and of course you're going to have to fight for this. You're going to have to fight around this. but these aren't parts where the cart goes, and these can be contested space. We'll mark those with yellow. So teams are going to want to fight for this because they want to take this high ground. They don't want you to just control all of this space here. So they want to fight you off the high ground, and once they have the high ground, then they'll control these areas, right? So what we want to do, so we want to stop them from getting the high ground. So the second we lose this point, this is a loss. We take this elevator, we stack our Ana, our Kiri, and our Sojourn up here. We keep our Rhine down here. He can hold the choke, and we just pump him full of healing. We just look for nades. We just do whatever we can to keep our advantage. We don't give them space. Once they have space, they can start controlling angles, which is dangerous. Once they control angles, they can start to contest these lanes. This is what this is called. This is a lane. This is a lane here on this right lane here, and this is sort of a lane here on the left. So once we start giving them lane control, they're gonna take angles on us, and we're gonna have a lot harder of a time winning this. But if we stuff them here, we don't let them walk past. They can't control any of these lanes. They just hit a brick wall here, and now we have a really good chance of full holding them before they even get over here. So what we want to do, reason why the high ground is important: we control the space, we control the angles, we control the lanes. It's also a lot easier to hit your cooldowns and hit your shots because you have a much better angle at looking for people. Look for the sleep. Okay. Look for a nade. Oh, that's such a good opportunity. You have so many people here. Oh, your Ryan might be an idiot. But you had so many people here you could nade. This is a beautiful opportunity. 3-man nade here. Your team walks forward, gets shatter, kills 3. Could be good. That's still a troll. I don't know what he was cooking. That's kind of rude. If you're on high ground, this JQ has to take the elevator to get to you. She's not a threat. This Ashe can fight you. She's a bit of a threat. She can poke from range. But you don't have fall off. You can duel her effectively. Cass has not really much of a threat. He has a ton of fall off. Moira, not a threat. She can't get to you. Lifeweaver will have to use cooldowns to get up there. And he's going to be more focused on healing your team from this. So, playing the high ground would be very, very strong here as they can't contest you. With Ana, you can even play this far back high ground because this angle is really, really good. You can just poke, you can throw nades. No one can stop you. You have cover here to play off of. Very, very safe. Very, very aggressive. Well, this is more aggressive. This would be the more aggressive angle. This would be the safer angle. So, as long as they don't have any snipers like Widow or Hanzo, this is definitely an angle that you can take and be pretty good with. But if they have those snipers, this might give you a little bit more cover, and it's still easy enough to hit your team. Back here, it puts you in this open sight line, which gives you the entire view of this, but they can also see that pretty easily. Up here, much harder to see. They'll have to fight for this elevator. So, high ground, very important. Look for nade.
It's go time.
Okay, thought was there. Nano maybe? Okay, I respect it. Look for the sleep on this. Unlucky. Something like VAXTA will help you hit those sleeps more consistently. Ideally, you'd be up here anyway, so you can have an even duel with this. Now we're on Roadhog, we just lose the game. Okay. It's just the int timer going off. Nice kill. Nice nade. This is good? Okay, that might have been an accident, but you know what, we'll take it. This is good. This is good. He's killable. Probably not, but we can at least focus her down a little bit. Once we kill this Lifeweaver, if we focus the anti-target, this is an easy fight to win. And you get sucked off with a Moira. Unlucky. See how low this Life Weaver gets, though? Look at his health here. Oh, it did not get as low as I thought it would. Oh, no, there it goes. What the fuck? Okay.
I won't give in.
Okay. So, what we've learned, number 1, high ground. High ground. You get space. You get map control. You get angles. Lanes. This is more map control. Lanes is map control. 2. Cooldowns. Those anti-nades, those aggressive nades, that's how you climb. If you look at the top ranking Anas, they pretty much always use their nade, like I would say a good 70% of the time, aggressively. 30% of the time, if they don't have like a brig next to them to heal them, they might use it for like self-defense. But they're almost always looking for an aggressive nade because healing is really strong in this game, and you need to be able to anti someone to get those kills. 3. Just mechanics would help. So, mechanics. We'll say VAXTA. I can give an example of what that looks like in a second. 4 is going to be, so we talked about high ground, which is positioning. We talked about cooldown, playing cover. Play in cover. And number 5, we can just briefly say reload management. It wasn't as much of an issue, but it will be as you climb and fights take longer. Reload management. Not as important, but something to just keep in the back of your mind. Whenever you're in cover, you can always be looking to reload. Okay, so this is the biggest stuff to work on. Number 1 is high ground. This is number 1. Once you start implementing this, you will start climbing a lot more. Second is cooldowns. We'll go aggro nade. Aggro nade. That's an M. I'm stupid. Nade. Mechanics and VAXTA, playing cover, and reload management. This is all good stuff to know. So, what is VAXTA? So we go to custom games, create, settings, import code. VAXTA like that. And this one more time. VAXTA. Aim training and warm up.
3, 2, 1.
Pick me on a character. We can either start challenge or start warm up. So this is what it will look like. So you just have to get kills. So I can just look to get kills here. Throw nades. Oh my god, I saw it.
Not the first, not the last.
So as you get more kills, the level will go up, which increases the difficulty. So basically, just how fast it goes. So me looking to shoot them. I can't hit a shot. It's 4 AM. Excuse my terrible aim. So you just go on, so forth. What do I get back? Okay.
Another day, another battlefield.
There's also the start warm up. And this is just like, it's just gonna give you a bunch of bots. There's no challenge or anything, but you just look for sleep darts. Just look to shoot them, throw some nades. Just get those mechanics warmed up for comp. This is what most people will just play around with in ranks. They've got nothing better to do, or like in queue for ranks. They'll just fuck around in here, just throw some shots out, look for some sleeps, some nades, some shots, warm up your aim. It's good stuff. This is a really easy way to practice mechanics. So just do that in between queues. You'll get the mechanics up. That'll increase how many, like, if your mechanics are a really good way to like guarantee success on a play you're going for. If you don't have great mechanics, but you take a really aggressive play, it might not work out because you can't hit your shots. But if you can hit your shots, it's very easy to like climb just by outskilling the opponent with aim. So do that for some warm up. Look to position on the high ground, throw your aggressive nades, keep your team alive. You'll be golden.